everyone. Welcome to Lexi's Libraries. I'm Lexi, and here I have with me JC Liam.
Hello, my name is JC Liam. I am the architect of the Neuroverse, also known as my multiverse of my books. I've currently written 3 books, but I have way more to come, and this is only the beginning. So, I'm excited to be here.
Okay, are you ready for the interview questions, or is there a little more that you want to talk about yourself?
I'm currently in production for a lot of things. I wish I had more time to be able to write, considering the fact that with the amount of ideas I have, I do not think that I would be able to express what I can do. So we'll see. Hopefully this will be a start of a new adventure, but that's just me.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the Reincarnated series, and how did you get the name Reincarnated?
It just came to me. I'll be honest. When I was the idea of Reincarnated, when I was done with the first book, it was really, really tough to find what the name would be. I was trying to figure out what I would do. I was thinking all that, and I was thinking, and it just came to me one day. I was like, Reincarnated the Malicious Queen. That sounds like a really good name, considering it does have a tie to it, and the idea of how two of the characters inside interact with each other. It kind of does make sense why, and eventually with the idea of using malice, it just fit and just really just came to me, and I just really liked it for the first one. The second name, which was Hyperion's Curse, that's just another way of saying that it was also a thing. And then third, which was also the hardest, third and fourth were the hardest. Blood of the Past kind of was a little bit easier than Malicious Queen, and then if you a little bit of a thing is that book 4 and 5 already have names for them, which is going to be the fallen hero and the benevolent king. So that's how I came up with those series, but they just came to me.
And I have another question that is not on here. What are these shields like? How did you come up with those, and what are the 5? Or 4, or however many.
Those are the crests. Those are what the characters wear on their left shoulder. It represents what their power, their branch, and their year. The symbol on it is the branch. It's either a cobra, cougar, bronco, a meteor for the strikers, or a dragon. One of the 5 branches in the Hero Academy. Behind it is their elements. For James and Daisy, for James, it's a normal, peaceful Milky Way galaxy. For Daisy, with her celestial magic, but more hyperactive, it would be an active quasar, which is a galaxy that has those jets. For Lucy, it's nature. For for another character later, Amelia is a black hole. It's their power, and it really just all it is. It shows the power. The symbols behind the branch showcase your power, your rank. For James, which was A class, would be the wings, the olive branch, and the arrow showcase that he is A class, and then it goes all the way up from D to U, and then there's usually rings behind them, which represents the amount of years you've already passed. So, like for example, Faith has 1 ring, which means she's a sophomore. And then I'm adding a little detail is that you'll actually see kids around wearing capes. Those are seniors. So if you see a kid with a cape, they're usually a senior. So you'll get like the little senior cape when it comes to that point. So each book represents 1 year. So Hyperion's Curse is year 2, Blood of the Past will be year 3, and year 4 will be split up into 2 parts. So that's pretty much it.
And then I guess this should have been the first question. Tell us a little bit more about your books.
So this book series, Malicious Queen, takes place in a universe where magic is plentiful. It allows a lot of people to be able to do a lot of magic. One of the greatest heroes, his name was Alex Yosef, was betrayed by the Hero King, which is the king, the most evil person in the world. Betrayed by him and pretty much set him up to be a villain. He spent 100 years fighting the world and the 7 sages, just trying to protect the world, but eventually it all culminated in the great battle, and he sacrificed himself. And died. Well, he reincarnates 3,000 years later, but in that 3,000 years, he's starting to come to realize the fact that there's actually more that's happened between those 3,000 years than what history it is. he's lived a second life. He has memories of him and Daisy being married. He's having all these stuff, and all these, like, as he's going through school, he's having to realize what kind of life he lived and why that life led to who he is now. And that's a big thing that it's starting to come ahead, because as Daisy's losing control of her magic, Faith is ascending as Hyperion, or like Gilgridge being returned. He's having to struggle while also discovering the past that he doesn't know he lived, and that's what drives him, is just trying to figure out.
What made you want to be a writer, and when did you know you wanted to be a writer?
A big thing, I always wrote stories when I was younger. I used to read Call of Duty Zombies fan fictions. I used to read fan fiction, but I never wrote it in like the erotic way. It was always, I was 12, so it was just, some kids get trapped in the game. However, I always loved creating worlds for people, and I always had done that. And this is the first one I've actually been able to finish and be able to write and be able to complete, because it was the first story that I really got to enjoy and push myself to it, and eventually go from cover to cover and finish the story, because I would always go about halfway and stop. But I got to the one, and I always loved creating stories, and I just really, really enjoyed it. So I just love making stories for people to enjoy.
Okay, and what are you working on now? Now that your third book is done,
a lot.
What is the one in particular?
If you follow me on the at the Ducking Author, you can tell that I have a board. That board is full of different ideas, separated into what they are. Sorry, little technical thing. So that board has a lot of things, and there's a lot of stuff. A lot of the blue is still being worked on. After book 3 was made, I'm going back and re-editing the second book to get ready for its publishing, because it needs to be published. And then I'm working on a different story that I'm going to give you a little bit of stuff called the Architects Projects, which is a bunch of short stories put together. And also the second series that's going to start coming out along with Reincarnated, which I don't know what it will be. I don't know if it's going to be one series or another, just based on how I'm feeling. I feel like it's going to be another one. And also another story that's going to be come out, because it's almost done. I'm just going to make it a standalone novel. It's going to be a full-length novel. It's already almost at 100,000 words, and I'll probably push it up to 150 and just make that a single novel. But at that point, there's a lot. It's a lot. So, yeah.
And I just want to say that this one right here, Reincarnated, the Malicious Queen, is on Kindle Unlimited, correct?
It's on Kindle.
Isn't it 99 cents?
It's Kindle on Kindle Unlimited, 99 cents, and I did this $12.99. I tried to go as cheapest as I could to get this book. I did as cheap as I could, but it is on Kindle Unlimited. It is 99 cents on Kindle. It will get pushed out to. It will stay probably. All my books will probably be 99 cents forever. I don't think there's really a point in trying to make money off of it. I would love to.
Would you ever do it for free every once in a while for a limited time?
Oh yeah, there will always be sales for it and all that, but I want to make I should be able to make money based on other things. I think writing books should be more of the enjoyment for the reader, easy to access, and be able to, because books are the generation, like, we're in a generation that doesn't like to read, and it's starting to really, really affect us, is that we need to be able to learn stuff like that. So I want to create worlds that we could do, so people can enjoy reading, and hopefully enjoy watching once, if it ever gets, big.
But you'll play the cameo parts.
Oh yeah.
Okay, best advice to give new writers and or writers going into the same genre as you.
All I gotta say is be yourself. That's all you gotta say, because no one can create your stories except you. You could tell other people how to make their stories. You could tell other people how you want the stories to be, but your story is your story. You cannot, regardless of what you do, it will always be your story. So don't try to believe that your story is not your story. It will always be your story.
And another question. I didn't write this. Sorry. You are working on more than just one genre. You're not trying to stay. What would you call
this? It's a high fantasy. Yes, I'm gonna say this. You did write this question down.
I did.
Near the end. I want to be known for an author that is known for just creating great stories, not a certain genre. I don't want to be known, oh, that's a fantasy writer. Oh, that's a sci fi writer. No. You see me, you could say, oh, you know it's going to be a good book just based on who wrote it.
Mm.
That's my goal in life, is that I want to be known for as an author that is good at writing, not good at writing a certain genre. So you see J.C. Lamb and you're like, that's going to be a good book because you know for a fact that if he's writing it or co-writing it,
Yeah.
it's going to be done in a certain way.
What is your favorite part about writing, and what is your least favorite part about writing?
My favorite part, creating new worlds. I love creating worlds. I love making people enjoy like stuff because I imagine the worlds. I get to act in them all the time in my head, and I just love creating it in a way that other people could see how I'm doing it. My least favorite is the fucking writer's block. Oh, my apologies. The writer's block. So yeah, being stuck at a certain point in the books is not favorable at all, and I hate it. I hate being stuck in a point, and that's how I lose a lot of my ideas. Stop getting written is because a good example is book 2. I wrote halfway through and tried to rewrite it 3 times. Went back to the first edit, and I was like, actually, I really did enjoy it, and actually finished it the way that it originally was. I did make some changes as I went, but I did write the second one. The third one was actually probably the easiest one I wrote, but it was just time consuming. But
And that one was the one that you're most proud of, right?
yes, third one I'm most proud of for a certain scene. I love the way I wrote the third one was probably the smoothest.
What is the initial moment that gives rise to your kind of work?
Dreams and daydreams. I really didn't understand this question. Um,
We can cut that one out then.
what is the initial moment that gives rise to your kind of? It's mainly dreams. It's mainly daydreams of just imagining the stories, and sometimes I have dreams, and then they just come into full stories. It just happens that way. Does it suck when you're trying to have an idea and you're writing an idea and get a new idea? Yes, but it leaves for the open of imagination, knowing the fact that these ideas are thing thought of, and I'm coming up with them, and it's kind of cool, and they're so they can range. It's so easy to it's so yeah they won't stop. So
What do you hope readers will take away from your book? I keep doing that too.
that's that question again.
Okay. What do you hope readers will take away from your book?
Enjoyment. That's really what it is. There's nothing like there's no motivation or stuff like that. There's no like oh tears like oh you better like learn this. No, the um whole point of it is just you gotta be and enjoy the story. So the whole point is to enjoy it.
Did any real life experience or people directly influence the characters or events?
Yeah, my friends and family, some of them did. Some are actually named characters inside the books, and if you do a little bit of research, you could possibly find them. But yeah, they did influence it, and some of the characters that are in there are actually characters that are based on people in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Some were actually the same name, and I did that at the beginning because I wanted to honor them, and then as I'm starting to mature as a writer, I'm starting to move away from that, but they still get the recognition they get.
What challenges did you face while writing this book? Or any of your books, I should say.
A lot.
Probably like the motivation to keep going and writing. And
Mostly ADHD brain because I want to jump to a different idea really quickly.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot in order to write a book, and it takes a lot of determination and perseverance to be able to do those kinds of things, considering the fact that sitting down, anyone could sit around for 2 hours and write something, but at what point do you want to give up when you're writing 4 to 6 hours a day for 3 months in a row? Like you start wearing yourself out. It's like playing video games. Like it's fun at first, but then it starts becoming more of a chore and a job, and at that point you want to stop. So
Okay. Did any characters change in any ways you didn't expect as you were creating them?
yes, I didn't plan on writing Faith. I did not. Faith was never in the original plan to be written, but she came out. And
What
honest,
made you write her in the first place? I'm just
she
curious.
just came to me. It just came. It was just a thing that I just introduced her as a character and just stuck with her, and just she became an important character. However, what the direction she went, I eventually once she was created, I knew where I was going with that character, and people are going to hate me because of I'm going to do with her in the second book. So
Is
people,
she the only character that you know what will happen to her? Or are there other characters that you're like, oh, I know for sure how this is going to go? So, like James, he's one of the.
I have the ending. I already have the ending pre-planned in my head. Yes, I have the ending done. However, backtracking, that's the hard part. Getting to the ending. Because I usually think of the ending or think of a scene in the middle, but it's like the hardest part is getting to that point.
Yeah. How do you handle writer's block?
I don't. I cry.
You cry? That's how you handle it?
No, I'm joking. Really, what I do is I move on to a different project or start writing a different project.
Even if you're in the middle of, like, let's say it's the second book, even if you're in the middle of the second book, you take a break, write another project.
If I can get my mind off of it, I could possibly come back and figure out what was causing the writer's block, or letting it sit. I can let my mind refresh through it because maybe I'm in the writer's block just because I'm losing motivation. That's a big reason why the second one is the way it is because at a certain point, I got a writer's block and I stopped writing for almost 9 months.
What might readers not know about the book just from reading it?
All the details in the book matter. Everything. I don't write. At first, I was writing just to write. But as I'm going in and tying loose ends, you're starting to realize, like, I'm starting to actually saying, like, every detail in the book isn't done for coincidence. It's there. It matters in the universe. It's supposed to be real. It's supposed to have like a thing where if you made it real life, you can actually make it realistic. Characters are relatable. So it's supposed to be the idea like every detail matters.
Okay. What's one thing you know now that you wish you'd known when you first started writing?
Don't rush the work. When I first, here's a good example. This is the first ever author's print of
I
it.
think that's the one that I read.
This is matte. Feel it.
Ugh.
Compared to these, which is gloss. Gloss. This feels weird. It feels weird in the hands. It feels like a worker's manual. It's bright white.
I think that's the first one I ever
Don't
read.
rush the project. That's all I gotta say. Don't rush the project.
On a different note, I did rank these. Well, I haven't actually ranked them in a video yet, but I did rank the first one. I said the first one was rushed. Granted, it is your debut novel, I'm going to say.
I wasn't proud of it. I'm gonna let you know I was not proud of it. The first one. The final project I'm working on, which I'm doing the final edit right now. It's actually I noticed as I was writing the first one, I was like, holy fuck, I messed up so much. And now I'm reading it again. I'm like, it's so much smoother. It's so much easier to read. I'm able to actually do it. I make corrections here and there, but I'm not like, what? Yeah, it's easier to read now.
And I did say the second one was the best in my personal opinion, although he is the proudest of the third one.
Which makes me want to make 4 and 5 better.
I think that 3 is more detailed than your other 2 books and stuff.
You need to read the first one when it's done, because I think the first one's going to be the best.
Well, and I think you added stuff. Okay. Did you use a functional outline, or was it just chaos that somehow worked?
Bit of both. This one was just pure chaos. You want to know how I got to that point? My whole point was I was coming home from work. Literally came home from work, came with the idea of a guy getting betrayed, and it led to this. Like, it started off as chaos, but now that we're getting to a point, I'm getting to the point in my writing, and I'm maturing as an author. I'm writing my ideas down. I'm writing my stories down. I'm writing my plots down, because at this point, if I imagine a scene, I imagine a scene 4 times. The scene isn't the same 4 times in a row. there's details that are changed every time. So now I'm writing them down. Now the scene, I may change the scene here and there, but I'm not changing like the plot is there. So I'm not trying to figure out where to go for it. So that makes it easier. But at first it was just pure chaos. Why do you think Faith is only exists because of that? Lucy only exists again because of that. The reason why and Lily is there because of that. Like that's there's a lot of things. And I'm saying these details in the second and third book because they're important, but ironically, the book's not out yet, but you'll get to that point. You'll see it, and you'll get what I'm talking about.
Who is your favorite character in the story? That is not yourself.
I'm gonna be honest. What do you? Actually, I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think my favorite character is?
I personally think you like James.
And why do you think that?
Just because he's a badass character.
I do like badass characters, but I don't like James because of the badass character. My favorite character is Daisy.
Daisy? Why?
Because the strength that she has, the temper, it's the temper that she has. It's the kind of I do not care what your opinion is type of attitude. She's a firecracker, but she's also powerful and also good enough to back it up. She's not like I'm strong, but then doesn't know how to use it. Yes, she has training from James, but in the beginning she still was strong and still had her moments, and that was the thing that the relation. And I just like how I've been building Daisy. Is that Daisy's starting to change into this character that is calm and do it, but also a lot more hot headed than James. So you can still see that temper that she is going to do, and the direction I'm going with her. I really like that what she's doing because I think that what she is a great push for James. That's why I like Daisy the most.
Okay, and I know your books aren't finished yet. So how many drafts did it take so far? At least for the first one, because
I published the first draft of the first one, and I realized what it is. With it now, there's a reason why the second one isn't out yet. If I was still doing the first way, these two would be out. But for the thing, I'm starting to go about 3 or 4. And 3 and 4. After about 3 and 4, I can start being okay with it. And 5 is probably the final one. If I have to do a 5th one. But they're usually about 3 or 4. And then about 5 is works out.
Good. And this is another question that is not on here. What age category would you rate these? Like if you were, what was your target that you were
probably last year June, like probably like 13 15 to
so like middle school, high school,
high school, yeah,
or in the middle school,
early high school,
high school, yeah.
There are references to certain acts that teenagers do because teenagers do teenager things and are willing to do stuff that are adult related, but there is no writing. It's not written in a way where it's actually considered that, but there is implied.
Where it's not like 18 and old.
Yes, it's implied, which is something that you can do. You can write that teenagers are doing adult acts, but do not write it.
Yeah.
So
otherwise, that is, I'd say 18 and older.
And at that point, it goes against one of the rules that I have for myself, which minors should always be protected.
Anyways.
Yes, they're reincarnated, but they're still technically teenagers.
Is there a particular scene or passage that you're incredibly proud of, and why?
There is a scene. Now I'll pretty much spoil it for you guys. There's a scene in the third book.
Is it a major spoiler?
It's not a spoiler in the way that it tells you anything. Why I'm proud of it is the fact that it's written in the entire chapter is written without a single line of dialogue. I was very proud of that because it was very hard to push the story along without saying a word, without it getting jumbled up. And yes, technically it's just one big fight scene. However, the way it was written, I'm the most proud of that because of how long it took me to be able to do it. And then eventually I set myself up a goal of writing a chapter without a single line of dialogue. And I did that. And I was very proud of it. Very proud of myself for doing that.
What was the most difficult scene to write and why?
Now, this scene, I really can't say. It's a huge spoiler, and I'm not gonna be able to write it. And I got to keep that. Sorry,
Which book is it from?
that's the second one.
Second one? Oh, I think I know.
Don't say it.
Oh. Was there a particular section from the book that required a dozen revisions? The first one?
Enough said.
Or just that one?
The book, the entire book, and needed a lot. Second book actually needs a lot of revisions too. I have books that are like the actual, because I grab a copy for myself and I go through and make edits as I go.
Yeah, because I think the first one, a little rushed, but again, it's your first novel. Second one,
first ever finished book,
had grammatical errors and stuff, but it was better than the first one. And then I think the third one was actually, a lot less edits, possibly. I don't know.
We'll have to see.
Because I didn't go through it and I didn't say, what's this word,
Yeah, there's a lot of things, but at this point, it's we'll have to see. Because for the process, I put it on the shelf for 45 days, and I'll leave it on the shelf for 45 days to let my mind clear from it. So this is in the wait phase. This is on the first hold. This is being edited. This one's being in its final edit, and this one's being its first edit. I'm about halfway done with the first edit. Then I got to put it on the second hold.
What surprising discoveries did you make during the writing process?
How detailed I can be without trying. A good example is just like looking at, imagining the scene, and how I can go in with an idea of a certain project thing without even thinking about it, and later it comes back, and I'm like, I don't even remember doing this, but it ties in perfectly. So it's just how detailed I can be, and without even trying to think about it.
How has your writing evolved since the first book? Or writing
a lot. It has a lot. I'm a lot more thoughtful about it. I'm a lot more detail oriented. I'm more trying to make sure make sure there's no conflicting problems. A big one is that in the third book, I actually introduced an idea that I didn't think about until the third book, which I'm actually going back and adding to the first book, which is the idea of the true eyes, which is the showcase of magic, someone's magic through the iris, the color of their eyes. And I'm adding that to the first book because it was a really cool idea, detail that no one really seemed to do, so I wanted to do that.
What's one writing rule you believe in, and one you think that is made to be broken?
One minor rule should be, minors should always be protected, or respected. I don't think you should go in and if you're wanting to show a monster, I understand that like a writer wants to go in and show an adult being a complete monster by torturing them and doing all these and violence on on the child. But if you're writing a child, they should still have the respect regardless of what they are, because these characters may be fake, but like to me, these characters are like my children. So if I want to go in and respect the child, I have to respect the child still. But one should be broken is that I don't know. I don't read a lot of books, so I don't know this thing. But I think that every character should be equal. So if women are evil, they should be depicted as evil, regardless of how they're like. Sure, like a lot of people when they write women, they write them as like either these frail little girls, or if they're supposedly evil, they're like you. If you're gonna write an evil woman, you should make them evil regardless. Like they're torturing people, they're they do sexual violence on men or women or whatever. Women are not sacred. Children are protected, but women are not. Women are adults. If they are going to be evil, unleash the hell of evil on them. Don't hold back.
Which character / aspect of your book do you closely identify with, and why?
I don't know why this is a question. Me. Enough said. Next question.
And if it wasn't you, obviously you identify with yourself because you're in the cameo. But do you represent James more? Is that who you?
Who I resonate with most?
Yeah, that's what I'm meaning. Daisy, Lucy, Amelia, Bishop.
I'll be honest. I resonate most with the character that I have thought about but haven't written yet, and it's a different story, different stuff. A character that literally just wants to go in and clean up zombie guts. That's it. I resonate with him the most because he's like, I don't care about this. I just want to get the work done, and yeah.
Okay.
Just want to double check.
And it is still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Another one. What? This is another question that's not on there. What makes you stand out from other authors? That one I didn't write, but
what stands out from other authors? I think it's just because how down to earth I want to be. Like these characters are supposed to be like these universes are supposed to be real to the characters, so they don't know they don't know, but like they may not know, but they're also you can be over there like I relate to this character. Yes, this character is overpowered as shit, but the emotions they feel are real. Mm-hmm. Like I understand that like when someone dies, their grief can take over somebody, and they need people nearby. Mm-hmm. That's something I wanted to is that even though they're powerful, even though these characters are fake, the emotions they feel are real.
So I know we talked about doing merchandise, and I've seen a picture of the merchandise. What's with the eyes?
Nothing. Just keep going.
Anyways, what is the rose supposed to signify? Or have you decided to completely not have the rose?
The rose is my logo. I haven't really introduced it, and I'm going to introduce it in the first book.
Oh, did I ruin that spoiler?
No. I haven't added it. I'll re-add it. It's literally my logo. It's essentially stating that the blossoming of the universe. It's a rose that is in the style of a galaxy with stars orbiting it. It's like, its design is pretty much that even though the universe is, its colors may not represent everything that it is. It's essentially just my logo. The blossoming of the author and the universe.
Okay, what made you decide to write yourself in the book?
So a big thing that I was worried about when I was starting to write is that a lot of people, theft is a big thing. There is, you've come across books that are very similar and people are thinking they stole them, right? Mm-hmm. Almost pretty much cover to cover, pretty much the exact same book. I wanted something that signified to denounce that I knew was mine. But I wanted a signature, a specific signature, not like a name or anything like that. Something written into the book that I can tell that it was my work. So I wrote myself into the book as a signature. And if I read something that is similar to mine, and I know that my character is not in there, but their universe is similar, I can go after somebody and say you stole my work because of my signature. Because they'll write me into it.
Yeah.
And if they try to write me out of it, I can already tell because how the universe is structured.
Anyways, what motivates the protagonist in your story? I guess any protagonist.
Reliving life and curiosity. And other books, it's just living their normal lives. Like, I do have one, if you want a specific answer that I can give from a different story idea that I have. And his motivation is purely vengeance. He's going to be fun to write because I know exactly how I'm going to do it. It's a story that I had on my back burner for 6 years, and I'm going to see if I can write it as a novel, and I think it's going to be a really good book. His motivation is vengeance. So it just depends on the character.
Are there hidden elements that pertain to the different characters?
Yes, because that's what makes them characters. That's what makes them relatable. Mm-hmm. Like that. Like, James and Daisy have the similar powers, right? Mm-hmm. But their powers are, even though they're slightly weaker, right? Mm-hmm. Than each other. Then one is slightly weaker. the way she handles the magic is different. That may make her more powerful in certain situations.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes all out chaos is order is chaos. But sometimes you just need all out chaos in order for it to really unleash someone's power.
How has writing this book changed you?
It's allowed me to mature as a person. I wouldn't probably be a writer the way I am now if it wasn't for writing a book the way I did and being able to mature as a person as well as an author. It's allowed me to get my ideas down, so I'm able to actually slow down on ideas. I mean, I still bomb rushing them, but I'm not looking at all these ideas and figuring out what's going on. Things are getting done, which does excite me.
What is the most difficult thing about writing a character of the opposite sex?
Getting the emotions right. Like, writing a woman is harder than writing a man because if I'm writing a woman, I'm having to think about how a woman thinks and acts. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. And the problem is that sometimes women are some way, women are not some way. I'm not trying to make. If I try to make a stereotype, it's gonna be easy. But when you're trying to make a character that's individualized, that's hard because the emotions are. You're trying to make a person as a man. You're trying to make a woman as a man, but don't know everything that makes a woman a woman. Being married helps, but being a man, there's still limitations for it. It's just getting the emotions right.
How long on average does it take you to write a book, and how many hours a day do you write?
Books that are very similar, and people are thinking they stole it, right? Almost pretty much cover to cover, pretty much the exact same book. I wanted something that signified to denounce that I knew was mine. But I wanted a signature, a specific signature, not like a name or anything like that. Something written into the book that I can tell that it was my work. So I wrote myself into the book as a signature. And if I read something that is similar to mine, and I know that my character is not in there, but their universe is similar, I can go after somebody and say you stole my work because of my signature. Because they'll write me into it.
Yeah.
And if they try to write me out of it, I can already tell because of how the universe is structured.
Oh, you've reminded me that I didn't do the differences between the last two books that I did that are similar. Oops. Well, I'll have to do that as a video. Anyways, what motivates the protagonist in your story? I guess any protagonist.
Reliving life and curiosity, and other books is just living their normal lives. Like, I do have one, if you want a specific answer that I can give from a different story idea that I have, and his motivation is purely vengeance. He's going to be fun to write because I know exactly how I'm going to do it. It's a story that I had on my back burner for 6 years, and I'm going to see if I can write it as a novel, and I think it's going to be a really good book. His motivation is vengeance. It just depends on the character.
Are there hidden elements that pertain to the different characters?
Yes, because that's what makes them characters. That's what makes them relatable. Like that. Like James and Daisy have the similar powers, right? But their powers are, even though they're slightly weaker, right, than each other, then one is slightly weaker. The way she handles the magic is different. That may make her more powerful in certain situations.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes all out chaos is order is chaos. But sometimes you just need all out chaos in order for it to really unleash someone's power.
How has writing this book changed you?
It's allowed me to mature as a person. I wouldn't probably be a writer the way I am now if it wasn't for writing a book the way I did and being able to mature as a person as well as an author. It's allowed me to get my ideas down, so I'm able to actually slow down on ideas. I mean, I still bomb rushing them, but I'm not looking at all these ideas and figuring out what's going on. Things are getting done, which does excite me.
What is the most difficult thing about writing a character of the opposite sex?
Getting the emotions right. Like, writing a woman is harder than writing a man because if I'm writing a woman, I'm having to think about how a woman thinks and acts. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. And the problem is that sometimes women are some way, women are not some way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to make. If I try to make a stereotype, it's gonna be easy. But when you're trying to make a character that's individualized, that's hard because the emotions are. You're trying to make a person as a man. You're trying to make a woman as a man,
Mm-hmm.
but don't know everything that makes a woman a woman. Being married helps, but being a man, there's still limitations for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting the emotions right.
How long on average does it take you to write a book, and how many hours a day do you write?
If I was given the opportunity to write 8 hours straight, like a work day, 5 days a week, I possibly could get a book done. Maybe in a month. However, I work a full time job. I have other obligations that I do,
Yeah.
and also have, I like live streaming and doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only able to write
Couple
2,000,
hours a day.
2,000 words because I'm only able to write 2 hours a day at
Yeah.
most, which sucks. Because if I was making the full time job of writing, I would be able to pump out books like crazy. But I can't.
Maybe one day that'll be a dream.
Yeah, it is the dream.
But how long did it take you to write this one and the second and third?
I started this in November and finished in February. I started this one, I think, in March, and I went on a 9-month hiatus and finished it in a year. It took me about the same amount of time to write that one. I started that one. I started that one in November and finished it in February. So,
do you hide any secrets in your book that only a few people will get or will find?
yes and no. I don't hide things in a way to make them where they're unfindable. I make everything discoverable.
If so they're like in plain sight type thing?
If you're looking hard enough, you can find what you need to find. But if you're not, then you're gonna miss it. But it's hard to do that. Do that kind of Easter eggs when you're writing a book.
Yeah. How do you select the name of your characters?
Random. They come to me.
What themes do you find yourself repeating, exploring in your work?
Yeah, that's a different question. I found this overpowered characters. But really, I find overpowered characters kind of interesting to me, to be able to do whatever they want, but still having limitations in the world. It's really cool to do that, to see characters like that. They're limited, but they have the ability to do whatever the fuck they want. That's something I've written a lot, but I always try to make everything unique, regardless if they're overpowered or not. Like, there are characters out there that aren't overpowered. There's some characters that are in universe overpowered, but they're not overpowered in the grand scheme of things. Like, I'm not gonna have a zombie killer be overpowered against someone that has celestial magic, but he's the most overpowered character in this post-apocalyptic zombie world. Like, it's really based on how unique they are. So,
I have a quick question that's off of this. Do you think you'd ever have a crossover in your books?
I was thinking that I'm going to probably have to write a lore book, which is a book with all my lore put together. I'm also going to have to. I was thinking about my last story ever is going to be a crossover of everything put together into one universe, where it's this big story where they're like maybe trying to find a way back to their universes. Can something happen? All universes come. The crisis on Infinite Earth, the crisis of the Nerveverse, or something like that. I don't know yet. I don't know if there will be a cross because
I think that
would be like 25, 30 years in the future.
Yeah, and you may have progressed, grown
to the point where it's like DC where like there's infinite Earths one way or another, and I'm like, at that point, it's so a final goodbye, and at that point I'd be retired from writing.
Yeah, not only that, but I think you'd progress from writing young adult to kind of your age. Or you may stick to that, category.
Well, young adult, it doesn't matter if it's young adult or not. I'm going to write everything regardless.
Well, yeah.
Not erotica. Not erotica. Whoa.
What? You don't want that type of writing? No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
I don't have to play to the demands of young single women in order for me to get big. I feel like that's something that's. Well, I want to be like Stanley. I want to define a generation.
If you do write romance, it's gonna probably be clean romance. It's not gonna be.
There will be second base style, but we'll never go home. Home run style.
Because I know we're writing a romance, or we're gonna try to. Anyways, we ain't going all the way to third base.
A good example is in the Diabolic. There is in the Diabolic series, somewhat of a scene, but it's never explicit.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us your writing process and the way you brainstorm. Do you write it down? Is it just...
It's hard because at first I imagine watching it in my head as a movie. And then I start, writing it down. But no two scenes are ever the same. I could think about it in the car on the way to work, write it down, write it part of the way down, and then think about it on the way back, and it's completely different. Because I don't remember. It never comes out the same.
And do you show anyone your work in progress?
Yeah, close friends and family.
I was going to say, I already know that answer because I'm his wife, if y'all didn't know. So I get to see his work.
Close friends and family, so...
Most of the time
I do want to give... Here's the thing what I do want to do. Eventually, I want to do even the work in progress, give it to, fans out there so they can have special editions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because most of the time I try and wait until the piece is, kind of going towards the first edit,
Yeah.
But it's done. Versus him telling me a scene and then me asking all these questions and he doesn't even know yet.
Yeah, because I got to that point yet.
Or you'll change it. That's why I'm like, I don't want to know until it's written. How do you determine whether a piece is finished or finished enough for you? I guess I should say. Is it until you're proud of it? Or...
Book birth cycle. I have a book birth cycle, so essentially it will go through this process in order for it to be written. And it goes from pre-production, it goes from idea stage to pre-production, to production, to post-production. Once it passes post-production, it goes to publishing, and at that point, when it's in publishing, it's considered done. There's technically book one is in the post-production phase. It's on the very end of the post-production phase, and these two are the only ones also in the post-production phase, but they're in the early stages of the post-production phase. So, just based on the book life cycle.
After finishing a manuscript, did you immediately start a new project?
Yes and no, because this one's on hold, so I can't really do any edits for it. So I would have to wait for the edits to be done, wait for the hold to be done before I can make edits. But at that point,
did you go back into the other ones and edit it?
I have.
Or are you starting a new project?
I have gone on different projects. It really just depends on what I'm feeling at the time.
What about right now? Because you just finished the third book.
I'm writing a lot of shit at this point. I'm re-editing the first one. I got to finish editing the second one. I got a couple books that I want to do. So.
What would be essential to preserve if your book was made into an adaptation for a film/television?
I would prefer it to be a television because, to be honest, I can be able to preserve everything. I think everything in the book needs to be preserved because everything is so detailed already. I don't think you really need to change it. There may be a few things that they want to change that I may approve on, but I'm probably going to be producing it, so...
Would you prefer it to be into a TV series or actually a movie?
TV series, because then you have more time to be able to do more. Instead of it being like an hour and a half to do a full book.
Yeah.
There's enough. And TV
There's so much information,
Yeah, there's so much stuff that you can add. Like at that point, you're going to have to start deleting stuff, and everything's important in the book.
Yeah. Because, didn't you say Hunger Games, for example? They left out so many details in the...
In the book, she almost dies from dehydration, but it doesn't show that in the movie.
Yeah. Many writers describe a strange experience of rereading their work years later. What aspect of the books would you surprise your future self?
How creative I could be. I just don't realize. I never realized how truly creative I could be until I started writing all my ideas down, actually having an actual visual look about it.
Okay, and last question. Is there a genre or format that you have not tried but would like to?
Yeah, all kinds. I want to be. I don't want to be known for writing one genre. I want to write all kinds of genres. I don't want to write erotic or stuff like that, but I want to be known for writing a fantasy, a modern fantasy, a sci-fi, a modern sci-fi, a thriller, a horror,
A mystery.
a mystery. I don't know if I could be able to write them good, but I want to write them and be able to write good stories out of them because I got people around me that are willing to do that. So it really just depends on how I want to write everything, and I want to be good at writing everything because that's my goal in life is to be a good author. And I want to be at the point where, like, everyone, where they see J.C. Lamb, they know, oh, yeah, you know it's going to be a good story because he wrote it, or he helped write it, or he helped do it.
Is there anything you want to let the audience know before we end it?
Keep on dreaming, keep on writing, and keep on reading. And the reason why we're able to create worlds the way we do, is because you got people like you that read it. So I will happily continue writing and continue creating worlds for you guys to enjoy.
Yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if there is any questions that you have for JC Lamb.
Yep.
Bye guys, have a good day.
Yeah.